You might think your dog's quiet habits are just quirks. A little stare into the dark hallway, a warm weight leaning against your knee, a soft breath beside your bed. But what if I told you that your dog has been guarding you all along? Not with noise or aggression, but with instinct. Ancient, loyal, and constant dogs don't always protect through barking or growling. Some forms of protection are silent. They're written in posture, in stillness, in where they choose to rest when you sleep. Every movement carries meaning. Because in their world, you aren't just their owner, you're their home, their pack, their responsibility. Tonight we'll uncover 10 subtle ways your dog protects you, often without you even realizing it. And once you see it, you'll never look at them the same way again. 1. Sleeping beside you. The night watch. Have you ever wondered why your dog insists on sleeping close to you? Maybe at your feet pressed behind your knees or with their back touching yours. It looks like love, and it is. But it's also strategy. In the wild, sleep is the most vulnerable state. A sleeping wolf or dog that drifts too far from the pack becomes easy prey. Safety comes from closeness. So when your dog curls against you at night, they're not just showing affection. They're standing guard. They've made a decision. You are my pack, and while you rest, I'll keep watch. Some dogs take this further. They position their bodies to face the doorway or the window. They may even keep one ear slightly raised while the other side of their head rests on the floor. To you it looks casual. To them it's a post-a-guard position maintained out of pure instinct. They don't do this for comfort. They do it out of duty. And the most touching part, they don't even think about it. It's automatic. While you drift into dreams, they're awake in the spaces between sound and silence, listening, monitoring, ready. If you ever wake in the middle of the night and find them staring toward the hallway still and calm, know this: they're not afraid. They're watching for you. You are the reason for their alertness, the center of their silent promise. Even if you move them to a more comfortable spot, try not to push them too far away. That closeness is sacred to them. It's their most vulnerable gift, sleep offered beside you as a symbol of loyalty and protection. In their language, it means nothing gets past me while you're here. 2. Guarding the doorway. The silent sentinel. Have you ever noticed how often your dog sits near the door? Maybe they station themselves in the hallway. Body tense but quiet eyes fixed on the entrance. It might look like boredom. It might look like curiosity. But in your dog's mind, that doorway isn't just an opening. It's a border, a checkpoint, a place where danger might appear. In nature, the entrance to a den is sacred ground. It's both the first line of defense and the most vulnerable point of exposure. Even in the comfort of a modern home, your dog's instincts remember. They know the doorway is where strangers arrive, where sounds begin, where the unknown could cross the threshold. So they choose that spot not to be nosy, but to guard. To them, the door represents everything they're responsible for: you, your family, your peace. Some dogs lie there for hours, eyes half closed but senses sharp. A creak, a rustle, a car pulling into the driveway, they register it before you even hear it. That stillness is not relaxation. It's vigilance. They're reading the environment the way soldiers read the horizon. And when they finally rest near the door, it's not your house they're protecting, it's the heartbeat inside it. It's you. A gentle word or a light touch on their shoulder tells them you see their effort. That acknowledgement matters more to them than any command. It's how they know their watch is valued. So the next time you pass by your dog sitting quietly by the front door, pause for a second. What looks like a simple habit is actually one of the oldest forms of love on earth, silent, watchful, and steadfast. 3. Following you from room to room. The shadow of loyalty. You stand up to get a drink, to answer the door, to grab your phone, and there they are. Soft paws behind you. Always close enough to brush against your leg, never far enough to lose sight. Some call it clinginess. Others call it cute. But what your dog is really doing is far more serious. They're keeping you within their circle of safety. For a dog, distance equals risk. In the wild, separation from the pack meant danger. Isolation made you vulnerable. That instinct still lives inside them. So when you move, they follow. When you pause, they pause. When you close a door, they wait. It isn't obsession. It's duty. Your presence is their compass. Being close to you means they can act the moment something feels wrong. No delay, no hesitation. A 2022 study from the University of Helsinki found that dogs are sensitive to even small changes in their owner's cortisol levels, the hormone tied to stress. When your energy shifts, they feel it long before you ever speak. That's why they trail behind you step for step. They're tracking not just your scent, but your well-being. And when they stop outside the bathroom door lying down with quiet patience, they're not guarding the space. They're guarding the moment you're unseen. Because to them, that's when you're most exposed. So next time you nearly trip over them in the hallway, take a breath before getting frustrated. That closeness isn't intrusion. It's devotion, performed in silence, repeated every single day. 4. Standing between you and others. The living shield. You've probably seen it at the park on a walk, or when a guest steps too close. Your dog moves forward just a few inches, placing their body subtly between you and someone else. It might seem like a coincidence, a bit of curiosity, but it isn't. That movement is deliberate. In the language of dogs, positioning is power. It's how they claim space, define boundaries, and protect what matters most. When your dog steps in front of you, they're not saying, "Stay back." They're saying, "You're under my watch." In the wild, the strongest members of a pack take the lead position, the edge between the group and the unknown. It's a natural barrier, a living wall. Modern dogs may no longer roam in packs, but the instinct remains. The one they love stands behind. The one they question stands before. This gesture isn't about dominance or jealousy. It's protection written in posture. A lowered stance, a raised paw, a still tail, all silent signals that say, "I'm aware. I'm ready." I once met a veteran who said, "My dog doesn't bark when strangers come near. He just steps between us and watches." That's enough. And it is. Because for dogs, guarding doesn't always mean attack. It means presence, positioning, preparedness. If your dog ever slides in front of you or presses their side against your leg when someone approaches, don't pull them away too quickly. Just place a gentle hand on their shoulder and let them know they've done their job. That quiet acknowledgement tells them you're seen, you're valued. In that moment, your dog isn't just protecting your body. They're protecting your comfort, your peace, your space. It's love that stands before you, steady, silent, and sure. 5. Bringing you objects. The gift of protection. It might start with something simple, a toy dropped at your feet, a slipper carried across the room, or occasionally something a little less pleasant. A shoe, a sock, a leaf, even a bug. At first it seems random, maybe even annoying. But to your dog, this act is ancient. A ritual born from loyalty and duty. In their mind, they're not just playing, they're providing. Long before dogs lived in homes, their ancestors brought food back to the pack. They shared what they found to show strength, to prove their worth, to ensure survival. That instinct hasn't faded, it's evolved. Now your dog brings offerings not because they expect a reward, but because they've chosen you as their family, their responsibility. Each gift, no matter how strange, carries a message. I can protect. I can provide. I'm doing my part. It's not about the object. It's about the intent. Even when they bring you a soggy toy or a half-chewed stick, they're expressing the same ancient instinct that once kept entire packs alive. So the next time your dog trots up proudly with something in their mouth, take a breath before reacting. A gentle thank you is enough. They don't understand sarcasm, but they understand tone. When you respond with warmth, you honor that gesture for what it truly is, love wrapped in instinct, offered freely. Because in your dog's heart, Protection isn't only about standing guard. Sometimes it's about giving a silent promise that they'll always share what they have, even if it's just a tattered toy. 6. Watching from the window. The quiet lookout. You've seen it before. Your dog sitting by the window, perfectly still, eyes locked on the world outside. To you it looks peaceful. To them it's patrol. That window is their lookout post. Their ancestors watched the horizon for danger. Now your dog watches the street, the gate, the world beyond your home. They memorize every sound and movement, learning what's normal and what's not. So when they tense, suddenly ears forward, body alert. It's not random. They've noticed a change, something that doesn't belong. They're not staring for fun. They're protecting what matters most inside. Instead of calling them nosy, let them keep their post. It's their way of saying, "This is my territory. You're safe here." Because behind that glass, your dog isn't watching the world go by. They're guarding the small, quiet life you've built together. 7. Reacting to distant sounds. The early warning system. You've seen it before. Your dog's ears twitch, head lifts, eyes fixed on something invisible. No sound to you, but they've already heard it. Dogs hear 4 times farther than humans. A whisper of movement. A door creaking down the hall, a car still blocks away, nothing escapes them. But they don't just hear. They interpret. They decide in an instant, safe or not. What's amazing is how their alertness ties to you. If your heartbeat quickens, theirs does too. If you stay calm, they relax. They're not being jumpy. They're mirroring your energy, staying ready in case you're not. So the next time your dog startles at a sound you missed, don't hush them too quickly. They're doing what they were born to do. Protect you before you even realize there's something to fear. 8. Licking you when you're stressed. The healer's touch. When life feels heavy and words fall short, your dog leans in and licks your hand. It's not random affection, it's empathy in motion. In nature, grooming means care and calm. When your dog licks you, they're saying, "You're safe. I'm here." They can actually sense changes in your scent. When stress rises, your body, chemistry shifts, and they respond instinctively to soothe it. One gentle lick can lower both your heart rate and theirs. It's their way of sharing calm, grounding you through touch. So next time they do it, pause a second before turning away. Because in that simple act, your dog is saying something beautiful. You're not alone. 9. Staying close. When you're vulnerable. The silent guardian. You've noticed it on the days you're sick, tired, or sad. Your dog won't leave your side. They skip playtime, eat less, and simply stay. That's not coincidence, it's instinct. In the wild, pack members protect the injured by surrounding them. Your dog feels when your energy shifts, slower, movements quieter, breathing, and their first reaction is closeness. They don't need to fix you. They just need to be near to share the silence that helps you rest. That still presence says more than words ever could. You can rest now. I'll keep watch. 10. Guarding your heart. Through stillness. The deepest kind of protection. Sometimes the greatest act of protection doesn't look like defense at all. It looks like stillness. You're lost in thought. Your chest heavy with something you can't name, and your dog comes near. No barking, no movement. Just presence. They sit close enough for you to feel their warmth. They look at you with eyes that seem to know without needing to ask. And somehow your breathing slows. Dogs are extraordinary mirrors. They reflect our moods, our fears, our calm. They notice the way your shoulders tense, the way your hands tremble, the way your silence feels different today. And instead of reacting with noise or excitement, they choose quiet to steady you. Research shows that dogs can detect changes in human scent tied to emotion, sadness, fear, stress. They don't analyze it, they simply feel it. And when they do, their response is to stay close until the air feels safe again. Some will rest their head on your lap. Others will sit across the room watching gently until you look up. Either way, they're doing something profound, protecting not your body, but your heart. They're saying you can let go. I've got this space, no training, no command, just instinct wrapped in empathy. That is the quietest, purest kind of love there is. Now you know your dog's every glance, every step, every sigh may be a form of protection you never recognized. They guard not just your home, but your peace, your heart, and your quiet moments of rest. So tonight, when your dog curls beside you, take a moment to see it for what it is, a love so constant, it rarely needs to be loud. If this story helped you understand your dog a little better, share your thoughts below. Tell me, how does your dog protect you in their own silent way? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that honor the bond between humans and their dogs. Because the more we learn their language, the deeper that bond grows. Until next time, love them back the way they already love you, completely and without words.